I was begging literally to be allowed to solve a particular challenge in Python.
Okay.
But they said no, they wanted it in JavaScript. So you must write it in JavaScript. And I learned JavaScript overnight.
Wow. Hi, tech lovers. It's another episode of Work with Ihechi. Here, we usually have insightful and educative conversations with techies, and we usually work from workspaces. Give our honest review, those of you that are looking out for a peaceful place to work from. Yeah. Although today we're not working from a workspace because I already booked a place with a workspace, and I just got there today and found out that they had left the building. Sad, yeah, but I mean, as a remote worker and a techie, it's easier for us to work from anywhere. And so today I'm at Domino's, and I am so thrilled to be working with a tech guru. Yeah, he's a tech wizard, right? In especially software engineering, and that person is Moses. Hi, Moses.
Hi, Ihechi.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm a wizard.
I know that.
Right. I have. If I'm a wizard, then there are a lot of levels to this wizardry.
You're right. I agree.
Yeah, but I feel honored to be called one or to be seen as one. And thanks for having me, by the way.
Yeah, Moses, I'm going to say that you're one of the people that inspired me to become a techie today. Yeah, actually.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't think I've said that before, but
I'm hearing that for the first time.
yeah, about 3 people, but I know you're one of the people in the list. I used to watch you, while you were working and all of that. So could you tell us what inspired you to get into the tech industry and how you started your career, basically?
Okay. So for me, I think this question is a very strong one, and one answer I usually give for it is mostly I'll just mostly just tell people money. Yeah. So yeah, money is one of the things that inspired me, but that was not the major thing.
Yeah.
Right. It was part of the few things that inspired me. I think freedom was one thing, right, and my quest to want to figure things out, to want to solve issues, right, now got me into that. Majorly when I graduated as a mechanical engineer, and I went for my first job role. So my first job role basically was to be an engineering supervisor. Yes, I applied for that role. We had like a couple of people we did interview. I thought I was just finishing service, so for me, I had no idea around things. But the questions were pretty fair. I had people who were already out of school for a while, so it was just I was like youngest, and I was able to do well.
What was the job role like?
It's engineering supervisor. Basically, what that role entails is you're most likely going to be like a lead to engineers, mechanical engineers. It was an FMCG company, so I think they produce like milks and stuff like that. Yeah. So for me, it was a big role, and in my head, it was something that would become a game changer for me.
Yeah.
So when we started the first negotiation we had, they said they were going to give me 60,000 naira. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the calculation. In Lagos, by the time I do transport, feeding, waiting remain, and stuff like that. Like nah, like.
But for the fact that you just came out of school, you didn't see that as money enough.
So technically, it would have been money enough. Let me be honest, right? Because I never hustled at the time. You understand? Yeah. My father had been doing a great job, supporting us all through school and every other thing. Yeah, shout out to him. Yeah. So money was not really my thing at the time. I just wanted to make impact, right? But when I recalculated on the fly how much I spent from my auntie's house to get to that place, and then did times 30, I realized that it was not going to cut out, right? So that was one thing that made me started renegotiating. Yeah. The second thing that made me started renegotiating was when I was in service in camp. This serious thing and everything they usually say. So somebody made mention and said for a fresh graduate, you should be looking at something around 120,
Okay.
you know. So my head was hitting around 100, 130, you know, if I could get something like that for a start.
Yeah.
So when they asked me what I wanted, I just told them around that range. It was just straight. And I saw the looks on their face like, this one are tifo, you know, something like that, yeah. I could read it.
Yeah.
So we did the negotiation. I told them that, well, you know, they said, what's the least I could come down to? I said, well, they are far away, so there's no way I can push down. I'm
I
just
guess.
basically throwing all my options on the plate for them.
Yeah.
And they said they'll get back to me. So I left. I told my uncle about it, about my auntie's husband. At the time, he was like, I should have just, you know, taken like,
Accepted it.
job is very hard and all those kind of things, yeah.
Okay.
But I at the end of the day I rejected it. I think they came up to 80 something. Yeah.
Okay.
But I still rejected
Still
it.
rejected it.
My intention was I would reject it and then they would meet me there.
100.
And that's how the thing just was. Like, you know, at my end, like, okay, they've gotten from 60 to 80 something. Just refuse. They just add it's just 20,000 naira
Yeah.
and you just add it to get
But
200.
do you regret it?
Yeah, for 3 months I regretted it.
Okay.
3 months. I mean, my dad was always calling and like, how you doing? And that was the first time I knew depression was real.
Wow.
Because he was the one that was always telling me, don't worry, what is yours will obviously come. So after like 3 months, one fateful morning, my uncle just came into my auntie's husband.
Yeah.
You know, we call them uncles. Yeah, so he just came into my room and I was like, he saw this thing and he's not too sure about it. So I should take a look at it and let him know if it's something that we can do. So I looked at it, it was Decagon. They said they will train you and then you pay back. I think around 3 point something million each, 3 million then was what they had. I thought like, if these people think I can pay that money, then let's try it.
Wow, you are not scared of the money?
Well, there were two things here, right? It's either I die trying to pay the loan, or I'll pay the loan and finish eventually, right?
Okay.
So that was just what was driving me at the time. And the fact that I had a knack for computers, but I didn't really know that there was an arm like tech. I just knew, okay, web design, and that was it, right? I did a couple of them when I was in this, but it wasn't serious. It was just I didn't see like there's money in this thing. It was just like, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, let me try it out. Now I got caught up with that interview thing, and I don't know what they were going to do. So I was like, okay, it's programming, right? So the first thing I was saying was go and find out what programming language you can learn fast, so that when you go for interview, you just go and Google somebody, you know. Yeah. So I think I had a week or so with Python. Yeah, I think about a week with Python or so. And it was easy for me to, you know, just go there and explain to them. But that's how Python became my very first language, though.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I didn't know you write Python.
Yeah, I write Python, but now it's like a thing of the past.
Yeah.
If you give me, I'll write it. But if you ask me to just start any project with it, I'll prefer to go with the other guys. All right, so I came in, did the interview, went through their bootcamp process. In fact, I crossed the bootcamp. It was a miracle because I knew I was going on, because everybody there, when I went there, like I saw a lot of people, experienced engineers, you know, the ones that already have spent 5 years programming and still are not sure what they are doing, you know, stuff like that. So when I went there, like I just knew I stood no chance. In fact, day one was even much more terrible for me. I was begging literally to be allowed to solve a particular challenge in Python. But they said no, they wanted it in JavaScript. So you must write it in JavaScript. And I learned JavaScript overnight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was able to solve it the next day.
Yeah.
I think that evening when I was going back, I don't know what happened, but I just felt like download some books in JavaScript. I think one of the books I downloaded was Eloquent JavaScript.
The one you gave me.
So I think I started reading that in transit until I got home. I didn't sleep the night. Was able to, you know, fix one or twos. My solution was very messy, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Right? So came back the next
Does
morning.
it work? Yes.
Came back the next morning, submitted it. I could see my instructors having this doubt, like, are you sure this guy did not come? Because as of yesterday, this guy was literally begging to use Python. So there's no way he will be able to just wake up this morning with a solution in JavaScript. And then they asked me to explain. I was trying to explain, but waiting you do patch. You explain it patch.
Yeah, exactly, the way you understand.
Exactly. But what saved me then was I was able to explain my logics. But when it comes to the syntax, that syntax was lifted off the book. I just looked at, okay, if you want to loop, how do you do the loop? Just pick that and then play things around, and stuff like that. So I was explaining to them in terms of logic, not in terms of the syntax wise. But then what pushed me forward within the program was when I knew I was comfortable with doing that, I started trying to assist others that did not know. And I started teaching them, the little that I know. Yeah, exactly. So I want to read more so I'll be able to teach, But at the time, I was basically just focusing on logic, nothing more around UI and all of those things. So we got to the part where we now had to do UI. And that was where Moses knew that was the end for him again. I mean, it was, to date, I still feel like I'm way behind in terms of UI. Like people could see what I do in terms of UI and say, "Oh, Moses, you're doing great." But I feel like if I had started that early enough, right, it would have been a whole lot more better for me.
I think you do very well, actually. You just want to be
no,
Moses, don't do that. So what should we say?
No, but seriously, I don't feel like I'm there yet. I feel like there's still a couple of things that I'm missing. Personality wise, right, in terms of my skill set, I need to push up, but I'm trying.
Okay.
In a humble manner. Yeah. So, but that's basically how I got into tech.
Yeah, cool. Very cool story. So, I know that you're very dedicated when it comes to work, and you're very hardworking. I mean, I've seen you work, and I'm like, some of the times when I look at when I look at how you guys work, I'm like, I don't think I can do this one as much as I want the money. I don't like you guys work a lot. So can you tell us about a project, right, that you are particularly proud of? Like, I know you would have worked on a lot of projects, but this project that you're really proud of, and it has an impact. Or you want to tell us the impact that it has held on?
Okay, so looking back, I think every project I worked on sort of played a very key role in my growth.
Okay.
Right, down from I think my very first project, which was a sort of like pregnancy app for baby bliss at the time. Yeah. So from that to the current project I'm working on now, I think they basically had unique impacts on me, right? From just project-wise to collaborating with certain engineers, learning from certain engineers, teaching certain engineers and all of that, right? But I think picking a particular one would be my early days. Early days, and that would be a resume platform that we worked on. At the time, it was a project that was supposed to be linked up with Indeed. Yeah. So on that very project was my first lead role as a software engineer.
Yeah.
Right. I was leading as a backend engineer on that project for the offshore Nigerian company. So Indeed had their engineers, right, that were working on the project. But they needed like a backend team, and I was leading that team right here in Nigeria. And it taught me a lot. Basically, it taught me people management. It taught me project management. It taught me proactiveness, right? Because most times I would not want to tell somebody to do something that they do not have the capacity to do. Knowing that I don't have the capacity to, right? So it would be better for me to do it, right, than wave it up to somebody else. Because at that point, if you can't do something, I can't do something. I will not ask you to do it. I'll basically just try to do it. Because it would be really unfair for me to ask you to do it, except I have my hands full.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
And it helps you learn as a team lead. Then maybe share the knowledge to every other person.
exactly, yeah. So there I was able to explore more in terms of DevOps rules. You know, I also acted as a DevOps engineer for
Wow.
our team here. Yeah, and yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the engineers, the senior engineers. I think we had like two engineers from the Indeed team. They were like about 13 years,
Yeah.
you know, experienced engineers, and me who was just like 2 years at the time. I mean, there was just a lot to learn from them, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, that project actually impacted a lot in me, right? Down from learning and also sharing.
Nice. So, you have like like
Yeah,
roughly
fair
6 years
6. Yeah.
experience, working experience,
Yes, yes.
right? What would you say is your best part in this past years of working?
Sorry, say that again.
What would
Best
you say is your best part of
part.
working? Yeah, your team, your project you worked on. Like, what's your best part of the 5 years or 6 years?
Is it fair to say all of them?
Well, it's fine.
I mean, I've been fortunate. I'll use that word. I've been
Okay.
fortunate to work with amazing teams,
Mhm.
either leading an amazing team or working with an amazing leader, right? Ever since I started learning,
Yeah.
I've just been lucky. So when I started, I had amazing colleagues first. Let me even start with that. You know,
Okay.
we basically supported each other. We made arguments. You know, we made we corrected ourselves. We
Mhm.
challenged ourselves. You know, and that basically contributed to all of the things that I am now. In terms of teams, I think one of the best teams I've led was my first team. Basically,
Okay.
it had an amazing set of people.
Mm.
Amazing set of people. I don't want to call names now,
Yeah.
yeah, because I could have done a shout out to them, but yeah, they know themselves. If they're listening to me
If you
right
know
now,
yourself, shout out to
yeah,
you.
so they know,
Yeah.
and so that was one team that I led, and I was really proud of them.
Yeah.
Right?
How are they doing now?
Is that?
How are they doing now?
Oh, they're doing amazing.
Okay.
Funny enough, I think I used to call her. I'd see her as my second in command then,
Mm.
right? She's out of the country at the moment. A machine learning engineer, and I
Wow.
think she's also maybe diving into. She's also doing AI thing. Yeah, so she's delving around
Yeah.
ML AI, you know, and she's doing amazing, you
Wow.
know. And then the other ones also are actually doing great. One is now it sort of like has like a tech hub going for him, and yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Sense.
they are just they are
Yeah, they're
doing
actually
amazing
doing
stuff in
well.
their
They're
different
doing
lines.
well. They're
Yeah.
doing well. I agree. I agree. I mean, Moses is a very good teacher and a people's person. So, whatever community or wherever he finds himself, I know that he always impacts. So, well done.
Thank you.
I mean, you deserve a lot of flowers
Oh,
because in this community of tech, especially around here, I can list how many people that you've impacted their life, whether through helping them, teaching them, one thing. I mean, take your flowers. Well done. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question.
okay.
What trend or technologies do you think will shape the future in the next 5 years? Should I ask the question again?
All right, so I feel like there are a lot of trends that are already begin to shape the future.
Okay.
One that is notable is AI,
Okay.
right? It's becoming a thing. It's becoming a thing. However, there are some hypes that I don't connect with,
Yeah.
right? But the truth be told, right? We are going past this computer age thing, right? Where we see, initially we used to see computers as a tool, that will basically, give commands, work with, and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But now we are moving into the age where we see computers, right, as partners, as supporters, right? Where you basically rely on that information, right? You obviously have the knowledge,
Yeah.
but you need like a second head. So instead of just thinking through everything yourself, you can literally just have a second person think
Yeah.
through
Just
with you, right? So that's one trend that I feel like in the coming years would basically shape a lot for us, because this is data fed from a lot of amazing minds, right? And what you're doing is you're just literally tapping into that permit me to say, tap into the anointing, right? Right. So so that data is basically what you're also using, right? So as much as it's available, you also want to scrutinize, because people are actually feeding data into it. They might feed the wrong information, they might feed the right information. There are engineers over there trying to ensure that all the informations are sorted and are put in place properly for us to use. But at the same time, you also have to scrutinize it, because they are engineers like us, right? We make mistakes. There are always bugs in solutions and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, AI is one place that I think that technology can actually affect the future greatly.
I agree. What are some challenges that you faced in your career, right? And how did you overcome them?
This is an interview question. I've lost the interview. I didn't see this one coming.
Okay, sorry.
But that's fine. That's fine. So, challenges. I think one of my major challenges, right, has always been knowledge gap.
Okay.
Right. At every point in my tech career, I've felt, or I've actually had this feeling that I'm not great enough, I'm not good enough. Yeah, and it can actually beat anybody down when you think about it. Most especially when you apply for a role and you don't get to hear from them, no feedback, and sometimes you get the feedback, but it's not clear enough, You just get an information that, oh, we found somebody better, it's crazy. And so you begin to ask yourself whether or not you even know what you're doing, right? And I've dealt with that like a very, very good number of times, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. It's fine. It's something that I think a lot of people.
Yeah, everybody go through that.
A lot of people go through it, right? And you just have to be. You have to have that courage, to tell yourself that this is one of the many things, and we'll push on the next day, right? So for me, I think one thing I started doing for myself was, when I apply for a role, I jot down key technologies that company makes use of.
Okay.
The key ones, not just randomly.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, Moses, what do you know here? And what don't you know very well here? Right? If you don't know one thing very well, do you want to read to get knowledge about it? Do you want to improve yourself? And knowing that I've already been rejected, right? I still want to understand why that rejection. Is it my CV? Which technically could be, because I basically I build my CV myself, right?
Yeah.
So I could be missing some of those, keywords. Yeah, but aside that, if I feel like if I get to that point where I get to interview with those clients, right, I most likely will be picked. But the fact that the CV basically cuts me off, right, is actually frustrating. So one thing I've been able to do in terms of that one was, one thing I do is I sort of like reach out to most of the companies I apply to.
You reach out to them.
Yeah, reach out to them
Wow.
just to ask if there's something that I missed
Mm.
and something I could improve on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. Two, it's more around the skill set I already have. I sometimes take some time out to solidify my understanding about the things that I know, right? I know this thing. Is there some change
Okay.
that I'm not seeing, or there's some improvements that I might need to do about it, right? That's two. Three, I mostly get feedback from other engineers,
Okay.
in terms of collaboration and other things. Read people's GitHub repositories, see what they do and stuff like that. Yeah, basically, and that's one thing I sort of like been able to do, sort of like improve myself better. But mostly, like I said, knowledge gap has always been my challenge.
Fine.
Maybe my head or maybe knowledge gap. I don't know which of them, but they are playing one. One of them is playing one.
I mean, I've learned a lot actually. I didn't know that I could reach out to my interviewers. Yeah,
You can.
I don't know.
You can.
Okay.
Most
That makes
especially
sense.
when their meals are not automated,
Yeah.
right? So if they are not automated, you can always send a hi, this, out of curiosity
Yeah.
and quest for knowledge. I'd really appreciate if you can, give me
Yeah.
feedbacks, like actual feedback on my resume. Is there something wrong with the resume,
Yeah.
or is something wrong with the skill set, right? What would you, if you're going to advise me to reapply,
Yeah.
right? What would you ask
So
me
you
to
have that
improve?
conversation. That's nice.
Yes, I do.
All right. So Moses, if you have an opportunity to have a dinner with a tech icon, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Okay, this co-founder of Microsoft, Alan,
Okay.
Paul Allen, that's his name.
Okay.
Cool. So, Paul Allen might not necessarily be a known person to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you can search him. I think he's late now. I think died sometime in 2018. Yeah, I think around that time. Yeah. But I think one thing that really fascinates me about him is his many hands, right? Being a software engineer, being a film producer, being an investor, obviously, being a researcher, and he also has time to do other hobbies of his own, right? For me, I just feel like personally, it's one line that I sort of like I connect with. Really, I'm sort of like intrigued on how he's able to achieve all of those things and still be who he is, right? And for me, I think having that time to get into his mind, it's really great. Knowing that this one person who I feel like I want to push my hands in a lot of things.
Was it the reason? Is this guy that inspired your acting movie? Because
Yes.
I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
You were in a movie.
The short movie, yeah, that's
short
correct.
movie, yeah. So was he the one that inspired you?
So, yes, sort of like, I would say that knowing that he's that one person, right, or that kind of person,
Yeah.
for me, aside the fact that I have a knack for, entertainment,
Okay.
right, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I even sort of like liked his personality. But yeah, that could be one of my driving factors, though. But I mean,
I see. Well, I've been asking plenty of questions. Most have answered. Yeah.
All right, so most times I like being sociable,
Yeah,
I like
stuff
being open and all of those things.
Mm.
And I think acting the movie for me was like not an open door per se. It was just like a path I explored, and I was really happy exploring it.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so having said that, yeah, you are someone that you're diverse in. You do a lot of things.
yeah, I like to see myself that way.
I mean, yes, actually, you're a software engineer. You featured in one or two short movies,
Yeah.
and you have a business running for yourself. You have a family. I mean, a lot of things. So how do you manage? I'm already software engineering is a lot
That one is a lot.
on its own. It's meant to be like all of this all together. But you still had mind, you have chest, pack all of these other things together. So how has it been for you?
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
right, it's not been easy. Right, it's not been easy. I know that I've had the opportunity to go back into the whole acting thing, but work has not allowed me to do that. So when my producer calls on like Moses, I'm going to like, is it on Saturday? It's not Saturday, I can't do it. You know, and I think that's also why I actually opted for short movies, because it's easier to, you know, production is shorter.
Yeah.
You know, you just come in, take your parts, you know, and then you can actually walk away, or you can even be doing your stuff. You don't have to do like so much work. Because trust me, acting is work itself. I mean, having to look at the script, memorize your part, understand your part first, not even memorizing, understanding your part, and then getting into action. It's work. You know, yeah. So imagine how long a movie would be, and you're doing all of this. You know,
and then you have to do that with software engineering.
Exactly. When you are supposed to be like solving one bug, doing one thing, and then you're not thinking of that role.
Yeah.
Let's say you want me to sack you.
Okay.
You know, yeah. But that on the side. Also, my business, I think I've been able to sort of like pull myself slightly away from it. Now I've dedicated to some persons, you know, managing it, and which basically gave me that time to now focus more on code. Family, I'd say my wife is married. All right, so my wife is my sort of my partner in terms of work.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes you could take a nap and then you shut off completely. You know, and you could miss out deadlines and other things. Funny enough, she's a whole lot more organized than I am. She's the one that she organizes
obviously,
me.
She's the woman.
Yeah, she's
obviously.
The woman. Very, very. She's my calendar, right? She reminds me
your
of
reminder.
She reminds me of things that I already set reminders for and I forgot. You know?
Hey, wow.
Yeah, I forget very easily. True.
It's easy.
And so she's that one person that says, "So time you have to do this, you know. At so time you have to do this, you know." And I like
shout out to you, baby girl.
Yeah, shout out to you. Alright, so she's my sticky note. Right.
Okay, let's move on, please. Let's move on. Alright, so that's cool. I mean, well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I should say that. Well done. Okay, so any word for like newbies in tech? We have a lot of them everywhere. Yeah, there are lots. Any word? Just one word.
One word. Just word.
Word. Most of it can be extra. Anything you want to say it.
Alright, so I think if I'm going to slim fit that, I'll just say be true to yourself.
True to yourself.
Right. These days, I've seen developers or software engineers, newbies, come in with the mindset that it's all rosy, right? It's not too. It's not. I mean, newbies come in and they're everything. They want to be
everywhere.
The product owner. They want to be the backend developer in 3 months. You know. Don't come and kill yourself. Don't come and kill yourself, because the truth of the matter is there's money in tech. But one way I think I've seen people make money in tech. It's solving a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the I do not call anybody name, but most of the people that have run away with people's money actually started by solving problems, right? Then they shall just run away with the money. Maybe the business did not go in the right direction, right? Maybe it did not go in the right direction. Let me not go and start saying what I did. Back-end engineers, front-end engineers, in all, right? If you're able to solve an actual problem, right, you would see money in it. If you don't want to write code, find the real problem to solve.
I get it.
If you want to write code, then don't look at the money. Still again, right? Look at the skill set. Do I have that thing that people are willing to die for and say, I want this person? Right? And it's not just code per se, it's down to your soft skills. Are you that person that people will look at and say, I want this person on my team? Not just because you're good at writing code, but also maybe because you are good at carrying people along. You're good at supporting people. You're good at forward thinking for a particular product and say, okay, this product, in the next 2 months or in the next 6 months, right? I'm expecting that we might be in this direction. Even if you're not there, you have a vision for that product. Right? Yeah. So those are the kind of things that you should be looking out for. It's a gradual step. You don't just come in and then in 3-6 months, you are blown as that big, right? Because you might be lucky. In 3-6 months, you might find somebody who will pick us on intern and pay you
Yeah.
real good money. I've seen that happen to a lot
Yeah.
of people, right? But
It's not always a story.
it's not always a story. It's not always rosy. So when you come in, don't come in with the mindset that there's money in this business.
Be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
Be true. Well done, Moses.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. I really
Ah,
appreciate it.
my
I mean, you're a very busy person and you still find somewhere to put us. Right. I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
So just please sign out for us.
Okay, so do I? Alright, hi guys. Thank you for watching Work with Ihechi. And just in case you are not subscribed yet, I think there's supposed to be one this and this side.
And you
There's
put
supposed to be
it.
this side. You put it. Alright, so click on that to subscribe. And then there's one thing that looks like bell. Click on it also, just so that you get updates as soon as you post the next one. And then finally, like it, because trust me, I feel like this is going to be like a lot of this content will be very beneficial to you, right? So just like to support what she does.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll catch you guys on one of our channels again.
Another one,
again.
obviously.
Sure. All right, enjoy.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Okay, do that too.